Welcome back to the Surround Sound Podcast. I am your host, R. Hunter Jr., the truth and not a rumor. This is Football 101. Troy, real quick. Clemson won. And I would like the NFL to know what they're getting into with Christian and Colin. Could you play that sound bite real quick from ESPN.com? This is crazy. Clemson, baby. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. Ooh. I love it. I absolutely love that. What's also crazy is how the internet is truly undefeated. Because Troy, they were not even born when that came out. When that came out in 1995, if they're 18, 19, 20, they weren't born. Those dudes were not born until like 96, 7, 8. But they said it like they felt it. Like they was around. I love the internet for that. For the historical importance. I just had to get that part in the show. I was supposed to do it earlier in the show. However, I forgot. But I had to get that in. Anyway. Big shouts out to Clemson once again, man. Like, Clemson has really changed something. Like, they brought some swag. Like, those two teams have played 4 times. And they're 2-2. The first 3 times, they were close matchups. And the first time that Clemson won, it was on a last-second pass. Like, time expired as they were passing it to win the game. This time here, Clemson said, you know what? We about to smack y'all in the mouth. And really, I have never seen a Nick Saban team, a Nick Saban defense that has been as ill-prepared and played as horribly since probably when he was coaching the Browns back in the early 90s. Mid-90s, somewhere up in there. And Bill Belichick was the head coach. I've not seen anything like that. That's real talk. Speaking of the Browns, time to flip over from Football 101 and head to the NFL. First up, weeks ago, and this was like probably mid football season, Reuben Foster got charged with domestic violence. Since we've been on break, those charges have been dropped. I'm just saying like that. Those charges have been dropped, and it was found that they didn't have enough evidence to charge him with said crime. I'm just leave that right there. All I did know, I did think that as a journalist, as a person to have this show, as much as I said that he had got charged with it, I need to tell y'all that he didn't. That he got dropped now. People, we always want to say certain things about people and certain things along those lines, but then if the charges get dropped or it's shown that he isn't guilty of that crime, then now what? It's horrible. You know what I mean? Like, no one wants to talk about that. Anyway, it's the end of an era, quite honestly. Marvin Lewis and the Cincinnati Bengals departed ways. All I can think of is the Jay-Z rap lyric. You know, first the Fat Boys break up, and Ike and Tina Turner break up, and I wake up to more bullshit. Like, he has been the punchline of so many jokes that it was almost like, what we're going to talk about now? I personally have clamored for Marvin Lewis to not be the coach anymore. He shouldn't be. He shouldn't have been. Like, Marvin Lewis coached probably like 16 years, 10 of which he should not have been the coach. Real talk. For like the last for at least the last 6 years, he should not have been the coach. And see, they call it Black Monday as far as the NFL and head coaching positions, because a lot of the day after the last game, a lot of coaches get fired. Well, six, 7 of them got fired, and 5 of them were of minority descent. I think all 5 were African American. And see, this is where the problem comes in at, because you have it was literally head coaches that I didn't even know. I didn't even know Arizona had a black head coach. I completely forgot about Denver having a head coach. And I ain't the last thing I remember about Anthony Lynn in San Diego. The last thing I remember about Anthony Lynn was that when he got hired in the press conference, he did the same thing that I just did. He called it the San Diego Chargers and not the LA Chargers. That's the last thing I remember. He's in the second round of playoffs, though. He's coaching his butt off. But the problem that I have with Arizona is that you gave that dude 1 year. Why? You knew you had to draft a quarterback. So you knew what came with that. You knew that he was a defensive-minded head coach. He was a DC in Carolina. So you knew these things. So why give him 1 year? You knew you were going to have to give him more than a year. So, why did you even hire him? Apparently, you knew he wasn't the dude for the job, is what I'm saying. So y'all went 3-12. No, not 3-12. You went 3-14. 3-13. I'm sorry. Woo, Lord, get my math right. You went 3-13. It's just the same in college. If you're going to give a head coach 1 year, you already know that they weren't the person for the job, because you need at least 2 or 3 years just to get that ball rolling, to get your guys in, to get your type of coaching prowess ingrained into people's minds, into the culture of where you are. And Arizona has not had the best culture, people. Just saying. But Coach Wilkes will get picked up real fast. No worries. The Titans lose offensive coordinator Matt LaFleur to the Packers. It may not be that bad. There may be something good. For the entire year, people, I have been clamoring for the Titans to use their first 2 draft picks of the last 2 years more. That's Corey Davis and it's Derrick Henry. Okay, Corey Davis eventually got used more. This is great. They still were not using Derrick Henry. Now, I understand that as a coach and as a football team, in sports period, but especially in football, you don't want to bring out all your good stuff early. You want to leave some things for later in the season. I get that. But the Titans hovered around 500 like all year. And they hovered and flirted with not getting into the playoffs all year. So what I'm saying is that if that was the case, then you should have brought out something. You should have went ahead and brought out some of those things so you could go ahead and, pad your level so you could get on in the playoffs. Y'all didn't do that until way too late with Derrick Henry. And when you did put him in, the boy went off. 99-yard run against what? That was in Jacksonville? That was ridiculous. To everybody on Instagram, see you guys next time. Peace.